welcome to this special pop-up, last-minute, thrown-together drinking with Dana today. I don't think we have anyone in the audience right now. I was actually originally just going to do this as a recording in my office, but then I realized I needed a blender to make this drink, so I figured why not see if anyone wanted to hop into the chat and say hi. The reason for all this little sort of in-between episode, between the seasons here, is that, I got some news on some timing and some scheduling and some things that are coming up that affect the show. So, nothing bad, just we're going to skip a few episodes, and I want to let you all know so you weren't wondering what happened. But first, let's get to a drink so that we have something to drink with this. Ska is in the audience. Good to see you, Ska. Glad you can make it. For those who are watching this on YouTube, I am doing this on a Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock, which is not my normal time for this, but I wanted to get it going and, before dinner time. Although I did forget to put the chicken in the oven, so we're going to have a late dinner anyway. Hi. Let's get to this drink. So I'm just going to make a quick peach daiquiri. This is a recipe I came up with one day when I realized we had some peaches that were getting old, and I had a blender and I had rum. So it's a fairly straightforward recipe. You can do this without the rum. I would add some water instead of the rum, just to keep it as fluid as this ends up being. If you want it non-alcoholic, otherwise just silver rum is good. And this, I literally just copied and pasted this out of the cookbook I'm putting together for my nephews. And so that's why the recipe or the ingredients are not in the order I normally do them. But let's start with a peach. I'm going to make a double of this just because I have this peach here going bad, and I might as well use the whole thing because I'm not going to eat it. Now, this peach is, let me show it to you here. It is wrinkly. It is possibly a little brown. It is not in good shape. It is not something you'd want to eat. It is not, however, moldy, which is very important. So what I'm going to do is cut this into chunks. And here, let me turn on some light here so you can see a little bit better. It's, there, that should be better. All right, so yes, really ugly looking peach. Now, as I've said before, you want to have fruit that you use for cocktails be very ripe because it is juicier that way. This, as you can, you probably can't see from there, but is a very juicy peach right now. It's got all the flavor in it. It is as ripe as it can possibly be. Now, the downside with peaches is that the pits start opening up and start breaking down. So you want to make sure you get all the little chunks of pit out of here, because otherwise it will stick in there and cause some problems. All right, and I think you just run your finger in there. Anything that feels rough, that doesn't sort of yield to your pressure, the pressure of your finger, is probably something that needs to come out. There's a lewd joke to be made there, but I've had a long day. I've had a long series of days, so which is something I'm going to be talking about in a minute. So I'm just cutting. I cut it into quarters, and I'm cutting it into eighths. Each of those quarters in half. And I'm just going to load those all into the blender. This is a very lazy person's drink. I do as little as possible with it. So that's why the skin is still on. You can take the skin off if you want. I do not bother. Wash the peach juice off my hands. And I'm going to skip the rum for now. I'll go ahead and do the lime juice. Got, again, kind of an older lime here, but I'll squeeze it into a dish because I'm not using my shaker for this. And I just need an ounce of lime juice. How you doing, Ska? And anyone else who's watching and just didn't make a comment in the chat, I'm glad you could make it. Like I say, it's been kind of a rough day here. We're dealing with tree law with one of our neighbors, and it's being really annoying. Now, actually, I said 1 ounce of lime juice. It's if I was doing a single, it would be 1 ounce. I'm making a double, so I'm gonna do 2 ounces. Which means I'm probably gonna have to squeeze more. Yeah, I am. I could actually have used my squeezer for this, but I never bother because, again, it just means I have to wash it. Let's see. And as with all of my recipes, adjust everything to taste. Do whatever you think will make it taste better for you. If you like more sugar, add more sugar. If you like less sugar, take out sugar. So again, 1 ounce of simple syrup. Now, you want to adjust the simple syrup based on how sweet the peach is. If it is, as ripe as this one is, it's going to be super sweet. However, as we all know, Lori has an incredible sweet tooth. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the full ounce of simple syrup in anyway, and I'll probably have to add more for her. Ska's having a good day, and it says it's always so nice to visit with you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We have a first-time chat from Jonas, with some numbers after that. Jonas 8925. Hello. How are you doing? Oh, and they say that I pronounce it. What are your pronouns, Jonas? I use she, her. So does Ska. I've never met a Jonas before. I've known a Yoni. He was, I think his full name was Yonton. But anyway, hi. I'm glad you could make it. Welcome. This is not the usual show today. This is we're kind of between seasons. I just need to let folks know about some stuff going on, some scheduling issues, and so I figured I'd make a drink and talk about it. So. Anyway, the 2 ounces of simple syrup, 2 ounces of lime juice, and basically a full peach that's had its pit taken out. All right. We are going to... I'm sorry, Yonton. That is not acceptable. And... Or, sorry, Jonas. But that was not acceptable, and I'm afraid that, all things considered, I'm going to have to let you go. Morning Wind is here. Hello! How are you doing? I'm glad you could make it on this very hastily thrown together stream. Oh, and thank you for subscribing again. 8 months in a row. That is wild. That was Winter that did that. I'm glad to see you're both here. All right, so we are going to add. Let's see. It would normally for a single be 1.5 ounces of silver rum. I'm going to make. I'm going to double that, so 3 ounces of silver rum. I'm just using whatever I had on hand. I used to use Bacardi when I was getting that. This is Largo Bay Silver Rum, and I'm low on it. I have to see if I've got some more in there. When we were cleaning out my folks' place, we went through all the alcohol, and my brother snagged the rum for his daiquiris over the summer. So that was about all he wanted, actually. So, all right. Uh, morning. Don't be sorry for not knowing that I was on Morning Wind and Winter Vespers. Literally, as I was saying earlier, I I got some information that's going to change affect the scheduling for the next month or so for the show, and I just want to let people know. And because I'm going to be skipping a few episodes, I figured I'd go ahead and sort of toss in a pop-up episode. I let folks know on Discord, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Mastodon. Which, if you're watching on YouTube, that's probably the best way to keep informed about when stuff's on. Um, that's where I usually make my announcements. So let's see. All right, so I'm gonna blend this up a little bit before I add ice to it, just to get those big chunks chewed up a bit. All right, and now I'm going to add 2 cups of crushed ice. Again, you'd only do 1 cup for a single serving of this. So hold on a second here. And I have decided that I do not like the way that the new refrigerator does crushed ice. I'm going to have to find a better way to do that. But for right now, I'm just dumping all that in there. And now blending it on as high a setting as I've got. So this is going to be loud for a second. Apologize. All right. Now there's still going to be some ice chunks in here, and that's just a function of my blender not being great. But here, so you can see big picture of this. Go ahead and pour that in. And there's going to be, like I say, some ice chunks there. So here we are. Not like you get in a chain restaurant or anything with a big ice, iceberg in the center. But it is still thick and creamy and, in my opinion, usually pretty good. Now you see all those little sort of pink flecks in there? That's just skin. If it bothers you, you can skin the peach before you toss it in. I just don't bother because I'm lazy. Also, the peach can look a little gross when you do that if you let them get as old as I do. This is basically how I use up peaches that I've let sit on the counter too long. So anyway, cheers. It's like drinking a peach, except better because it's sweeter and it has a little bit of the flavor enhanced by the lime juice. I think this peach, well, for my taste, it's probably a little on the sweet side because I can taste a little bit of that sugar undertone in there. But in general, it's just cold and sweet and just tastes like summer. So I, ice threw us together and honed it over a few summers. But, I hope you enjoy it. So, Morning Wind and Winter Vespers are both saying it is very yummy looking. And Morning Wind redeemed a toast for any toast I wish. So, to all of you for sticking with me through all of this, and I hope you're able to stick with me a little bit longer when I explain the next bit. So, to all of you. All right. So, got our drink, now to business. Um, so, and Scott also cheers to us. So, for those of you who've been with the show for a long time, you know that, or who know me in real life, know that there's a surgery that I've been trying to get for a little over a year and a half. I've gone through about five surgeons until I'm on the sixth one now. And it's something I've really wanted for a long time. I've been working at it. This year, I've been working with this clinic for over 9 months, probably close to 10 now. And I think the stars have finally aligned such that I'm going to get this surgery this month. And if you think this is short notice, it's because I only found out it was possible on like the 29th or 30th last month. And it's still not 100% certain, but it's looking very, very promising. Um, and, oh, thank you for following Cool Cat Paul. I appreciate it. And hello, Naughty Mayonnaise. Um, anyway, the, okay. Anyway, so I think I'm actually going to get this surgery this month, but that means that one of the things I have to do is stop drinking on the 16th for about a week or a little bit more, and I'm also going to have to travel out of state to get this surgery, and I'm not going to be back until September 5th, which makes doing a show a little tricky. Um, so that means the next show is not going to be on the 9th of this month. It's going to actually be on the I think it's I looked at it, it's like the 7th of next month. It's the Wednesday right around there if someone wants to look that up. And again, I will be advertising in all the usual places. It's been the reason I'm not going to try and do one on the 9th is because one of the reasons why I took took the last episode off was because I wanted to basically get some of my cooking energy back, and I just haven't had a chance to do that. I want to try out some new recipes and get kind of a backlog, and in addition to not just, I haven't been up to just cooking stuff I know for dinner, much less anything else. Things have been crazy. Sorry, I shouldn't use that word. Things have been very, very busy. And so yeah, I'm not going to try and do that one. The next one I can't drink for it, and also I think it's pretty close to when I fly out. And I've got to get a bunch of medical clearances and things like that together. Hopefully, I should be able to get that done in time. That's the last sort of check before I get the surgery done. And the way it works out is that I'm going to get the surgery, go down for the pre-op appointment. Surgery is like the next day. And then I spend like a week and a half recovering. And then there's a post-op appointment. And then that next day is a game convention that we go to in that area every year. So I'm going to be there for a long weekend. And then I'm going to finally fly back. Hopefully I will have recovered enough during that time. And for those who, do or do not know trans surgeries, this is, those who are unfamiliar, this is probably not the surgery you're thinking about. I'm not getting that one yet. Let's put it this way. It'll be hopefully clear and you should be able to see the results when we're done. But other than that, I'm not going to talk too much about it. All right. So a lot of people say, wishing me well, saying that you'll wait for me, and I really, really appreciate that. I was just expecting that, I was going to be recording this kind of on my own because I did just throw it out there. The fact that you all showed up and are going to be with me I'm. It means more to me than I can say. So thank you all. Cheers. Thank you. Mm. Ah. So, um, let's see. If there's anything else I just want to do here. Yes. Okay. So that's pretty much all I have to say. It's been a very busy month. It's been it's going to be a very unusual month. And hopefully you'll be able to tide yourself over with the drinks that I've made for you in the past, and they're all up on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is normally, I think, where any decent YouTuber would have a thing that you could click on right here to go to another video or something. Yeah, just there's a playlist. Go through them. There's see which drink sounds good to you and watch the video. Um, I really appreciate you all being here. I might do some more little pop-ups like this. You may just see me do a Dana reviews things when I'm sitting at a bar in San Francisco, and it's like, well, here's a bunch of drinks. Let's review them. Or something like that. Or just if I come across something and I want to share, I will do a pop up or put a video on YouTube. If I do, I will let you know in all the usual places. I'm pretty much not on Twitter anymore, although I do still post notices about when shows are going to happen, that sort of thing. Um, I'm on Blue Sky pretty regularly. If you've got an invitation there, if you don't and you want one and you know how to get a hold of me, then I might have one coming up. I don't have any right now. And then I'm on Discord in several places, uh, and also on Mastodon. If you look at my link tree, which should be both on Twitch and on YouTube, there it should give you links on how to get a hold of me, or where to find out when I'm going to do another show. And of course, I have it set up so that you'll get an email when it happens if you have that notification turned on. But otherwise, just I'll try and stick to the original schedule and be here in September for the season 2 premiere. I guess we're calling it. All right. Morningwind says, "Oh yeah, Morningwind snack testing someday." Yes. There are a couple of them I want to do. There is. We have a grocery store here called Wujamaya, which is a big Pan-Asian grocery store that has all sorts of Chinese and Japanese and Korean and all sorts of different snacks there. We also have like 2 or 3 different Indian grocery stores that have a wide variety of snacks, and I know practically nothing about them. There's also a Mediterranean grocery store nearby that has some interesting things, as well as Mexican and I think European and so on. And me being a plain old boring white American, I don't know a lot of these cultures' snacks. The one thing that's kind of held me back is because I don't know that much about them. I don't want to. I don't know how to. I don't want to. I want to do it right. I want to do it respectfully and without making be like, wow, aren't these people weird? No, it's just what they eat, and I'm approaching it as someone. I want to approach it as I don't know about these things, and that's a failing in myself that I want to correct, and I would like to share that knowledge with you. So that is my the way I want to do it. Winter Investor says, many hugs and good wishes. Thank you. I will be posting on the Discords that we're on together, if you're on Discords with me, about thing. Basically, as soon as the anesthesia wears off, I'll be letting you know what's going on. because the person who's going to be staying with me to make sure I don't like die in my sleep after anesthesia cannot be trusted to keep my phone away from me when I'm still, not right in the head. Um, let's see. Scott says, "There's something to be said for the flavors you are raised on." Absolutely, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with the stuff that I've had before, but you always want to try something new, and there may be something even better out there. Uh, I am very happy with the Northwest cuisine that I was raised on, and my mom was an amazing chef, so I know French and British cuisine. I know actually a fair amount of European cuisines, but I don't. But where I lack a lot of information is on Asian, Southeast Asian, especially cuisines. African cuisines. I would love to try some African, food. I've eaten at a few Ethiopian restaurants, but that's about it. Um, and I just don't want to ever get to the point where I'm like, I only want to eat the things that are familiar to me. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with comfort food, and that tends to be from the culture that you came from. But like if I'd stuck to the food from the culture I came from, I would have learned about Donburi, which is an amazing comfort food for me. And things like that. So yeah, I should really take advantage of a lot of the is ethnic cuisines the right that doesn't sound like the right phrase, the various different cultures cuisines that from the grocery stores that surround me. I mean, like, I could bike to most of these places. So yes, I should investigate them further, and when I do, I will share them with you. So the real Bothy says, I never pronounce your name right the first try, especially when no, I got it right, I think. Anyway, I've been doing a box subscription through a company called Boxu that provides snacks from small Japanese businesses that provide notes about the snacks. That would be very cool. I would be very interested in something like that. I've never. Most of the box subscriptions are really pricey, which is one of the reasons why I don't do their ads on my show, or their I forget what they call them, the marketing campaigns on my show, sponsorships. That's what I'm looking for. Nadimanid says Boxu provides many of the stocking treats for my kids come the holidays. Very cool. Yeah, no, when I was growing up, there used to be a German store, basically it was a delicatessen and grocery store near our place, and we found all sorts of really cool stuff in there that ended up in our Christmas stockings, and Advent calendars, for that matter. And by the way, you know how I often say, "Oh, it's got fruit juice in it. It must be healthy." I'm drinking half a peach and with some lime juice as well. I mean, sure, there's extra sugar and some rum in here, but it's mostly peach. So this one actually is a little bit on the healthy side. Nadim had said, "Our Santa is very multicultural." Very cool. Yeah, and that's, like I say, I know that I have gaps in my knowledge in a lot of these places, and I would love to fill them in, and I would like to do that, love to do that with you. Yeah, Morning Wind says this has vitamin C. Yes, this is a lot of vitamin C in here, and keep you from getting scurvy, 100%. So, for all of you, funny story, as long as I have you all here, I mentioned the Surf by Surfwest show that the Delstrayers were at. They were astounding. Basically, the first time I've danced at a club since I've come out, and I had just the most amazing time. But I went to put something in my car, and there was a pirate ship on wheels that was part of the Seafair parade here. For those of you who are familiar, it was the Seafair Pirates, and they had come to drink at the club where the show was going on, but they couldn't get it, and they were in full pirate regalia and all that. They had been out practicing for the parade, and but they couldn't get in because they didn't bring their IDs and their pirate costumes, so they couldn't go drinking. Which I thought was just, if you know the Seafarer Pirates, that is just hilarious. So, Winter Whisper says biodegradable. I assume that this is well, I guess it's one way of composting your old peaches. Nutty Maiden sheds a tear of grog for the poor pirates. Yeah, trust me, if you knew the Seafarer Pirates, who are known for terrorizing children along the parade routes. When I was growing up, now, admittedly, they've probably had to get better since then. But when I was growing up, they would literally just scoop up a child, toss him over the shoulder, and head back to the pirate ship with the child crying and wailing. There are, I would say, a good 25% of the kids who grew up here and went to a Seafarer parade are traumatized by the Seafarer Pirates of that generation. And there is some sort of weird rivalry between the Seafarer Pirates and the Seafarer Clowns. And, I believe there were actually gang brawls at one point. Now, again, this is back in the 70s and 80s, so I'm only hoping that they cleaned up their accents. So, but yes, it's always great when you see a boatload of pirates pull up to your favorite bar. Anyway. So, I think that's all I got, and I gotta get this chicken in so that Lori and I can eat dinner tonight. I completely forgot before this. And I'm sorry if I didn't if you weren't here yet when I mentioned this. With the daiquiri, you can just leave out the rum and substitute water, and it makes just as good a drink. So just add an equivalent amount of water instead of rum, and it tastes just as fine. I mean, this is really low alcohol to begin with, but you want the water to keep the consistency. And as you can see, it kind of separates out, so you get that foam on the top, and then a more liquid. That foam, I don't know what it is that causes it, but that's the kind of foam you're looking for. It's got a really nice head on it. I should say, it's a kind of foam that you aim for. It's what you add egg whites to cocktails to achieve in other drinks. Nice and velvety smooth. So, anyway. All right. I gotta go. Morning Wind says, hoist the peaches, and warm wishes to Lori. I will definitely do so. She's probably going to help me drink the rest of this. And I will talk to you all in about a month, if not, sooner online. And I will hope you have a great last month of summer. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you later.